Okay, going to try one of my favourite stalking patterns, and this one is called a Pearl Stalker. I'm going to tie it two different ways. So the first way is the way I've used up to now, and another way I've watched another fly tyer, very good fly tyer, how he ties it. Okay, so in the vise I have a Camazon B175 3.5 tungsten bead with lead wire going up the hook and then doubled back near the head. Okay, so I'm winding the thread in reasonably touching turns along the lead. A couple of turns behind just to make sure you seal the lead. And I've brought the thread back to where the point is on the hook. So this is the main pearl part, this is the tail, and this is pearl lure flash as such, tinsel, goes by several names. And I'm going to cut a bit off. There we go, there's a generous bit there, that's what I want. Nip it to the top of the hook, between finger and thumb. I'm going to bring the thread over, hold it with a finger and slacken the loop, then pull down. This will put it on top of the hook. Okay, I'm now going to bring the thread, touching turns, before the hook starts bending, roughly to where the point is opposite on the hook. Now I'm going to cut the excess off. There we go. That's reasonably neat. So this is my favourite Pearl Stalker. Now we've got some medium pearl, tinsel as such, rib, and this is going to be a rib that goes round the fly. Under the thread, again on top of the hook, pull it, couple of turns, and I'm going to cut the excess off and just cut it a little way behind. Now I'm going to create the body of a fly, and to do that we want to create a sort of cylinder shape, maybe even torpedo shape. And I'm doing this in touch and turns. I want to make a body of the thread. This might take a little while, so I use this fly stalking, blind stalking. It's caught me many good fish: brown trout, spartics, rainbow trout, up to double figure fish. I think the biggest is about 12 pound on this fly. You're going to try and make the body as even as possible. Doesn't have to be dead even, because you're going to varnish it afterwards, and that will even out to a degree. So this is the way I've used the fly up to now. But there's a simpler way of tying it with a different body. Now the rib, I'm going to bring round in the opposite direction and lay it flat on the body, so a reasonable amount of tension to make sure it lays flat on the body. As this is a stalker fly, I do heavily varnish this fly because I want it to sink pretty quickly so it can get down to the level of the fish quickly and intercept the fish, and hopefully the fish will like it to take it. Couple of turns at the head, then 2 half hitches, 3 half hitches. Last one, give it a really good tug to make sure it beds down. Always works for me on sealing the flies. To finish it, I put 2 coats of Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails varnish on it. Make sure you've got a bit of kitchen roll handy, because it's very easy to put too much on, so you can wipe it off quickly. There we go, that's the first version of this fly. So this is the second version of the fly. So this time, I've got a Amazon B175 in the vise with a 3.5 tungsten bead, but no lead wire on the hook at this stage. Okay, so no, it's the same pattern, it's a stalking pattern. And I'm going to run the thread up the hook. This is a thread and olive, by the way, again. I find olive works best, but don't really matter for this version. Bring it to where the point would be, then bring it back a few turns. It's the same pearl we're using. And again, exactly the same. Nip a bit off. Between finger and thumb, try and get the pearl to end right by the bead, because this will even out the body. Right. Again, exactly the same technique to get it on top of the hook. And then take it down to where the barb will be first. Just neaten everything up and keep it tight. Don't worry about taking the excess off, because you're going to tie it down. In touch and turns. It's going to be covered in a minute, so it doesn't matter if it's not 100% touching. Let's just right there. Right, now we just tie it off. 3 half hitches. And now we get our lead wire. This is the same lead wire that was underbody on the other fly. This is soft lead wire, so it's easy to break with finger and thumb. Lay it across the top of the hook, and bring it over, and go touch and turns carefully up the hook. Keep it fairly tight. That's it. Break it off with your thumb. Both ends. Just nip it down. And this is going to be basically your finished fly. Very top stalking angler and fly tyer. I watched his video on this, one of his videos, and it showed him doing this. I've met him, and really nice guy. He was really happy to give advice. He couldn't have been nicer. So anyway, we're going to put 2 coats of varnish on this fly, and we need to do that for 2 reasons. One, it seals the lead onto the hook and adds a bit of shine. And again, make sure you've got a bit of tissue handy in case you need to wipe a bit of varnish off. Okay, now that's the second way of tying it. So I hope you like both versions. I haven't fished with this one yet, where I have fished with the other one. This will catch fish just as well as the other version. Thank you very much.